In this video, I'm going to show you how you can run your own Hive OS repository. You may come across a scenario where you find yourself wanting to run your own local copy of the Hive OS repository. This could be because they just pushed out an update, like when they did the LHR unlock. Basically, the Hive OS servers were super sluggish for a couple days while everybody was trying to download updates. But you can actually get around that performance issue by running your own local copy in advance. And today I'm going to show you how to do that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pick a rig and we're going to make that basically a mirror of the Hive OS repo, and then we're going to tell the rest of our rigs to point to that. And then moving forward, all of the downloads that happen, whether it's a minor update or whether it's a Hive replace, whatever it might be, it's going to pull all the files off of our local network instead of having to go out to the internet and download them every time. And the way this works is it will basically be a service that runs on one of our rigs that every hour will go out, look for updates, pull them down, and store a local copy of those. So in my specific case, I have a node server that I run in Hive OS, and I'm going to pick this to run the installer with. So there's a couple ways you can do it. You can do it through PuTTY, or you can do it through shell in a box, or you can use the run command. I personally like PuTTY, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to remote into my system with PuTTY. Alright, and we're in our system, and the very first thing we want to make sure is that our disk is expanded. So we're just going to do a df-h, and we're going to check to see, and here you can see I have 922 gigabytes available at the root drive, so I'm already expanded. If you're not, you're going to want to run the disk-expand command, hit enter. Here you can see my drive's already expanded, so it gives me that error message. But make sure you expand it because you are going to be consuming around 16 gigabytes of data as of the time of the recording of this video. So you need that additional storage space available. If you're using a USB drive, make sure it's at least a 32 gig USB drive. The next step is to run the install command. And to do that, all we have to do is we do /hive /opt /repo mirror /repo mirror again. And this is the actual executable, and we're going to do -i to run the installer. And here you can see it's going to run, it's going to install Light HTTPD, which is a lightweight web server. And then it's going to basically get everything set up and running. It's not going to download the full repo yet, but it will get it up and running. And so here we can see that it started the service, and basically it tells us that it's up and running. However, it doesn't explicitly say it didn't download the files, but it says it's synced every hour. So what that means is if you let this thing sit, in an hour, you'll start to see some files pop up. But what we're going to do is we're going to hop on over to a URL, and we're going to grab our IP address, and we're going to do, so it's 211, so http://192.168.1.211/ and you're going to do repo /binary. And we can see not found, which is fine, but it is serving the page, so that is good. We're going to hop back over to PuTTY, and we're going to run the sync command. Now you can do the same command with -s and it'll run the sync. However, what I like to do is I like to run this within a screen. And that way I can close out, it'll continue to run in the background. Once it's done, it'll close out of that kind of second session. So we're just going to do screen hyphen D, lowercase d, lowercase m, capital S, space, and we have to give it a name. I'm just going to name it reposync, space, and then our full command. We're going to go ahead and run that. Now if we do a screen -r, reposync, we can see it's downloading files. And here we can see it's already downloading some miners. So we've got gminer. And you can see it's downloading them all off of the official Hive OS repo. Now if we hop back over to this page, we refresh, we'll start to see a directory listing here of all the files. So if you just keep refreshing, you'll continue to see all the files here. Now the next step is, while that's downloading, we're just going to head on over to Hive OS and we're going to set it up on our farm. So you want to go to your farm level, go to settings, scroll down, you're going to click on advanced settings, and then right here you're going to see this section, packages repository server mirror URL. You're going to go add URL, and in here you can specify that URL. So we're just going to copy and paste it, put it in here, save, and here you're going to see settings updated. Now if we scroll back up and hop over to our worker section, we hit refresh a couple times, what you're going to see is you're going to start seeing messages pop up on all your workers. And what that's doing is it's pushing the package URL down to each worker. So if we jump into one of these workers, we can see it reissued the hello command and it wrote out the updated repository URL. So we'll just head back to the farm tab, and it looks like it did on all of them. So we'll go ahead and just remove all messages. Alright, come back over here and it looks like it should be getting close to completing. So we'll just let this run, and then from now on it'll auto sync itself. It'll do an incremental sync every hour. So there's nothing else that we have to do on that rig. There's nothing else we have to do on any of our workers. We just leave them. They'll continue to use this repo anytime we run an upgrade. Now, one thing I would suggest is wait for it to finish before you run any updates or you run any Hive replace or anything like that. Before you really run any Hive OS commands in general or try to switch miners, I would just kind of wait that hour, let it finish out. That way it's not trying to replace a file that doesn't exist and then it has to hop to one of the other standard Hive OS providers.